Week 2 of Manchester Marathon training, and it's week 2 of, more importantly, Manchester Sub-3 Marathon training. If you're new around here, the goal is to get Sub-3 at Manchester Marathon next year, April. My PB currently at London is 3:08, which I achieved this year. I need to shave 9 minutes off to make sure that I can get into that Sub-3. The goal was always to do Sub-3 before I'm 40. I'll be 40 the week before the Manchester Marathon. Nothing I can do about that. I've just got to roll with the punches, as they say, and that's the only opportunity I've got to do a marathon before I'm 40. So I've got to do it because I will already have been 40. Anyway, I'm going to be sharing the journey with you, my training week on week, what it looks like today, kicking things off with a strength session. I'm going to do an 8K run later today, nice and easy. I'm following the program set for me by Runner. Never used one of them before, so I'm really interested to see how that's going to make a big difference, if a difference at all. So let's see. But anyway, I will share each training day with you as we go along, hopefully compress it into a decent video that I can put out every Sunday of what that week's training looked like. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, because I'm going to share this journey with you. So I actually managed to get my run done earlier than planned, because when I finished strength training, I had an hour to spare. So I only had 8 kilometers on the plan today, nice and easy, which meant I went and got it done before I actually started work. So I'm now just heading to the pool, because lunchtime, I'm going to get a half an hour in. So it's probably going to be around maybe 1.5k, maybe 2k. As running is the priority for me, I need to get those sessions out the way as early as possible, because you don't know what the day's going to bring. So by getting those out the way, regardless of what the working day brings, I know the most important sessions are done for the day. So this is now just added a bonus, because strength training and the run was actually on the plan. The swim and the cycle, or the swim or cycle, was not on the plan, and it's just a bonus, like I say. Swim done, and I was really impressed with that. So I did 1,900 meters at a pace of 1:31 per 100 yards. My watch works out in yards just because the way I have it set up. But that is really good, because previously when I was swimming and consistently in triathlon, I was at around probably 1:30, 1:31. So to come out and do 1,900 meters, bear in mind I did stop once for some water at 1,200 meters. So, but I was no longer than 30 seconds. So really chuffed with that, and that's going to help sort of build the engine now for the running. It's a great way of cross training, but also most importantly, it's going to get me back in the habit of getting into the pool, ready for when I come back to triathlon later in the year. Tuesday evening, just going out now to do my run. It's on-off Ks. I've got 3 times 1k on, 1k off. So never done this kind of session before, so it's going to be interesting to see. Pretty spicy in terms of the pace, but I'm feeling okay. I've been up since 4 o'clock, just couldn't sleep. Really wanted to get this in before I went to work this morning, but I needed to leave the house at 6, and by the time I actually got myself into a position where I could start training, I had to get ready for work. So anyway, getting the session done now, because it's an important one. The pace that I need to hit tonight is 4 minutes 30 kilometers for my 1k, followed by a 3:15 kilometer for the second K. Repeat that 3 times, and that's tonight's session, followed by a 2k cool down at the end. 2k warm up, which I'm on now, and that wraps up the session. Just about to get into those intervals. Let's go. Wednesday today, and I'm heading into a easy day, which is just strength training, which is on the plan. I've got all leg focus today, but my legs are feeling pretty good after last night's session. I've got a pretty spicy session tomorrow, but I am hoping to get on the bike later today. But like I say, I want to stick to this program as best as I can, so I'm getting the priority sessions done. So whatever's on the plan, I'm going to do. I'm not following the Runner app training program. I'm a personal trainer specializing in strength training for runners, particularly, so I'm going to follow my own program. And that is the plan today. Hopefully, I'm going to spend some time on the bike, because not only is it great cross training, but I need to get back to some decent level of fitness, because as I go later on in the year next year, I want to get back into triathlon. So let's crack on with some strength training. Probably one of the biggest weaknesses I see in clients when they come and see me for running strength training, and basically injury prevention, is a weakness in the glutes, in particular the glute medius. So working on your glutes, whether it's with weights or a band or body weight, it's going to help you a long way to reducing the risk of injury. It's also going to improve your overall performance as a runner, as it increases efficiency the stronger you get. This week has actually been a really good week for training. So yesterday I did my 400s, 8x400s. The session was pretty brutal, to be honest. However, I got it done. It was really icy out there. I opted for the road instead of the treadmill, which was a tough decision because of the ice and the speed I was going. I was worried of slipping, but I didn't. So all in all, very good session. Felt pretty strong afterwards, which is great, and that's exactly how you should be feeling. So the pace I was going at was, for the 400 efforts, it was at 3:20 kilometers with 60-second walking rest. And this is the key difference that I've made this time around in my preparation, is I've really learned some lessons and making sure that I maximize those hard efforts by resting when so on the resting, I rest. Basically, I walked the 60 seconds, where normally I'd probably go into a slow jog and then try and maybe up the pace a little bit, 30 seconds in or so. Not making the most of the rest periods to then get the most out of the actual speed element of that session, if that makes sense. So top tip for you, make sure you do that. Another top tip is just build into them. So what you want to do is, you don't want to go straight out the bat as fast as you can. You want to build into them. The most important thing about any speed interval session is maintaining the pace throughout. That consistency is the key. So no point going and doing a 3-minute kilometer for the first rep and then you having to slow down to 3.5, then you get to 4 as you progress, etc., etc. Just go 3:30 if that's what you need to do, or whatever your pace is. And that's the key thing. Everyone's pace varies and different. For me, I was pretty consistent, in and around 2 to 3 seconds on each one. So for me, really happy with that. Anyway, we're on Friday. It should be a rest day according to the plan. However, I'm going to do some strength training. I'm also going to add probably a swim in later today, and maybe even hop on the bike, who knows. But been a good week so far. I've got one planned run left, which is a 14k slow run, which is planned on for tomorrow. So week 2 this is, going well so far. I finished strength training and I've got some time because I'm working at home today, so I'm gonna hop on the bike now, probably do around 30 to 45 minutes. Nothing major, like I say, this isn't a structured plan, this is just in addition. So gonna do 45 minutes hopefully, but I'll be happy with 30. And then go get to the pool probably at lunchtime. That should wrap up a good day and a working week of training before heading into the weekend. The last run of week 2 now. I've got 14k. Christmas socks are coming out now as well, because we're getting to that time of year when the festivities start. So let's look at what today's run is, because it is a 14 kilometer progressive long run. So I've got 5k at conversational pace, 5k at 440 kilometers, 2k at 425, and 2k at 410. So finishing it a little bit stronger. So still getting used to the kilometers per hour bit. I used to always work in miles up until I started this program. So I'm 2 weeks into converting it into kilometers per hour in the pace, but I still don't really get it. But I'm had a little quick Google. It's around 7.5 minute miles. So that's what I work in still currently, hoping that I can eventually get comfortable with the kilometers. So not overly strenuous. I actually feel pretty good. Yesterday was my rest day, but I did a strength session, I did a cycle, and I went for a swim. So active recovery is what I'm going to call it, because it wasn't overly strenuous. The bike was really easy, just low zone 2. Then the swim again wasn't overly strenuous, and I always find it actually helps. I feel like it stretches me out a bit. Anyway, it helps. So going to get this run out of the way. It's a little bit later than I was hoping to get it done this morning. I just went and taken it quite chilled this morning. Went and got my hair cut, went for a coffee with the wife, and now it's 11 o'clock. I'm going to go and get this run done. Should be less than an hour, around there, and come back, have some lunch, and then that'll wrap up all the running for the week. Tomorrow I have got a strength session on the plan, but in terms of running, that is it. So what does it look like in terms of distance for this week? So looking at Strava now, so this week Weight training, I've done 3 hours. Runs, I've spent 2 hours plus whatever I do now. Probably I'm gathering another hour, so it's 15 miles currently. I've still got my Strava set as miles because I need that to see the pace. I've then got a bicycle, so I've got 20 miles, and swim, I have got an hour, so I did a couple of swims this week. So already, like I say, week 2 has flown by, feeling pretty good. Let's go get this run done. Welcome to Sunday, and welcome to the last day of week 2 of sub-3 marathon training. It's been a good week. Yesterday's progressive run was a lot more difficult than I actually thought it was going to be. So massively underestimated that session. The progressive run, which I probably went into naively thinking, well, the pace doesn't look too bad. But as I built into it, so the first 5K, I felt okay. Well, obviously it's a warm up, so I felt really good, in fact. But then the second 5K, I struggled to maintain the pace that I needed to hit. So to try and get into a rhythm was really difficult. I was either going too fast or too slow, and it just took some time getting the pace. The faster efforts, so the 2Ks that I had to do, they felt a lot better. So the first 2K was at 4:25 kilometer, second one 4:10, and then that was it. That wraps up 14K progressive run. Feeling okay today. Got a strength session. Big focus on lower body today, so it's pretty much going to be all lower body, legs, glutes. Going to focus a lot on the soleus and probably do some work on foot strength. That's massively neglected. So probably going to share this workout as well, so stick around. Probably do a separate video of a specific workout for runners. This will be the last bit of the video before I edit it, because I am going to load it up, but I'm probably going to get a cycle or a swim in. I haven't decided yet, but then that will fully wrap up week 2 of training. Thanks for bearing with me. Hope you found this useful. Hopefully it gets better each week. That's the plan for me anyway. Not only my running getting better, but more importantly, these videos, because if I can help you on your running journey just as much as it's helped me, then I've done my job.